Resident Evil, the final chapter, is the conclusion to the horror zombie movies Resident Evil. So, the plot of this movie is basically we just got done in Washington. I guess they off screen that. Wesker betrays Alice, and now Alice is getting hit up by the Red Queen, and she's saying that in 48 hours, every person on Earth is going to die, and that she has to go back to Raccoon City and stop Wesker. And also, there's a cure that can cure and stop the biohazard on Earth. Good times. And just the movie is basically her going from Washington back to Raccoon City and having to go back to the hive where it all started. Yeah, and that's just the short plot. So let's get into the review of Resident Evil, the final chapter. So basically, this movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. And it mainly really just falls on the writing. I said it in my last review. The writing in these movies are just terrible. And to be honest, even though I liked the third movie is easily what destroyed these movies for me. And it was because of the clones. The clones is easily the dumbest thing that they could have done. It should have just been something that was exclusive to 3. But instead, it allowed them to just do all types of just bad writing without no consequences because they're clones. And the perfect example is that now when she's about to head to Raccoon City, she gets stopped by the doctor, who supposedly died in the third movie, but it turns out the dude in the third movie was a clone. And this is the real doctor. And you even find out that dude's a clone, but that's for you to watch. And basically, he's the big bad guy and not Wesker. So you had Wesker being the bad guy in all these movies, and then Wesker is just the side character now, and the main bad guy in the final movie is the doctor that they killed off because of the clones. And I didn't like how they don't bring back like Chris or Leon or any of them, but they're quick to jump on bringing characters that died because there's clones. Clones. I absolutely hate how the third movie introduced those. It was stupid. Also, in the fourth movie, when Alice is attacking the Tokyo facility, all the clones was just stupid. It's just that for me is what completely destroyed these movies is the writing. It allowed them to just do bad writing because of clones. Whew, okay, that little ran out the way, which I've already kind of complained about, but so Resident Evil Final Chapter, a movie that dramatically improved on its CGI. But like I said, when it did practical effects, the practical effects were just always better. But finally, the CGI is not dog shit. The acting was okay. They bring Claire back out of all characters. I feel like what they should have did was had everybody that they introduced, like Leon, Claire, all them. Even Jill was saved in the last movie and they don't bring her back. It's just, okay. So yeah, the final chapter was just a very bad and sad conclusion to all the movies. And even after they cure all the biohazards, they still do the shitty writing where Alice doesn't die even though she should have. And for some reason, there's still biohazards alive. Like, there could be a next movie. Like, they wanted it to be the final chapter, but just in case that money was right, here's a little bit of writing. Man, the writing. But I definitely will say that the final chapter is definitely better than the fourth and fifth movie. Why I think the first, second, and third movies are better than the fourth, fifth, and sixth. It's just it all went downhill at the end of the third one, where she finds all of her clones, because easily just what I said, it leads to so many plot holes in the writing that I just didn't enjoy. So that's just my opinion, though. And I could honestly talk so much about these movies and what I liked and didn't like, and maybe I'll do that another time, but yeah. So, my recommendation for the final chapter, and unfortunately, I'm just going to stick with not recommended, because really, I just wouldn't really recommend any of the movies past 3. And honestly, just looking back at all the damage that 3 did, I'm kind of like, number 3. So yeah, just no.